Welcome everyone to the Wellness Blueprint Fireside Chat. I am so excited to be here today with our amazing guest, Jonisha Garcia. This session aims to delve into personal journeys, strategies, and insights about mental health and wellness. Our goal is to share experiences and actionable strategies that can help all of us along our mental health journey. So thank you so much for being here. Can you just take a quick moment to share a bit about who you are and your background and your amazing resume?
Sure. So my name is Jonisha Garcia. I am the CEO of Hair Love Therapy, LLC. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a researcher at Occidental College. I am a serial entrepreneur, honestly. And yeah.
Awesome. So when is the first time that you actually heard about mental health? How was that concept introduced to you?
So I don't want to give like this full-blown story about my childhood because that was a very traumatizing experience. I will say that, I went through so much when I was young that it could have caused me, honestly, to go in a different direction, right? But at some point, I leaned on my faith in God, and I used that as a foundation to get to where I am now. But in terms of mental health practices, it wasn't until maybe 5 or 6 years ago that I decided to really be active in that, and so got into therapy. I do somatic exercises and stuff. EFT tapping. I do all of that stuff in order to balance out, all of the madness because I do juggle a whole lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important to take care of yourself, especially as a mom. What is it that, when they tell you on the plane to put the face mask on yourself first before your children, because you have to save yourself before you can be there for your family. So I think that's amazing. And I'm going to have to learn those techniques that you know how to do because I don't know how to do those. So what strategies or resources do you find most helpful when you're seeking support or you're even, helping your clients to receive support?
So some strategies Well, for one, I have a room in my salon, right, that is garnered for my clients to be able to go in there and do meditation, EFT tapping, that kind of stuff. Because, like I said, a lot of the times as Black women, we are, expected, the burden of strength is on Black women. And so it is my duty to, have those conversations and to help my community and women to, find some strategies and stuff to be able to deal with, all that life brings.
So. Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. So what do you think that we as a community can do to support one another when it comes to mental health and also help to break the stigma?
Oh, man, there's a lot for us to do. I will say, though, that we should take our our family members, whenever I feel like it starts at home, right? So if, you have a family member in the house that is going through a mental health crisis or something like that, it's important to listen without judgment, help them find resources to be able to navigate their own journey, and, just have those hard conversations so it's not so weirded out and, stigmatized. Yes, and then within our communities, start having those hard conversations as well, right? A lot of the times we say, oh, go to church, pray to God, and God is real. God is that. I will tell you that, okay? And but God gives us resources as well and people to be able to help us navigate whatever it is that we are going through. So I think we got to kick and get away from this idea that, mental health is simply spiritual. There is a part of it that is spiritual, but at the end of the day, it's still a lived experience in someone's body. So we have to honor that and just take it seriously.
No, yeah. I've heard that time and time again where it's just okay, so-and-so is going through something. I'm just going to pray for them or, oh, he's doing this or I can see that this is going on and no one really steps in until it's almost too late,
Absolutely.
And that's quite unfortunate. So Based on your area of expertise, what is your understanding of how one of the 8 dimensions of wellness influence mental health? For example, how does environmental wellness impact mental health? So like just going outside, taking a trip, or changing your environment, going to the spa. What are your thoughts on that?
I am big on that. I will tell you that. I am big on that. I know when to take a break. Whenever I feel a burnout creeping up, I'm like, nope, I'm going to stop everything that I need to stop in order to center myself, because I cannot show up as my best self if I don't put into myself. So, I said earlier, like I lean heavily on my the spiritual aspect of my life. Me and God, we go
to take care of yourself along,
right? And I just pretty much lean on my spiritual foundation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Other than your spirituality, what are some other things that you lean on to support your mental health? Like, what are some things that you personally do just to reset and clear your mind?
Travel.
Yeah.
I love to travel. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much.
What are some of your favorite travel mental reset destinations? I would like to know.
Home in Belize.
Oh,
so
that
I feel like as soon as that plane lands in Belize, it's all of the worries that is America just kind of flow off my body, and then I'm able to just be present, and I'm able to feel, and I'm able to just being present really helps me to reset. It helps me to think about whatever projects I'm going to start working on. It just, it really like replenishes me mentally. So yeah, I would say travel.
I love that. Well, me too. I feel like when I'm by the ocean, there's just something about it. I feel so connected to the earth and like my feet in the sand.
I'm like, put me by the water
It's
anytime, any
something
day.
very spiritual about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
So do you talk to anyone about your mental or emotional state, or when you're having, tough moments, do you feel like you have anyone to talk to?
So my mother over there, she has been, when I say everything, in a lot of instances, like whenever I am up there, she's the one to help me bring it down. Also my husband, like he is really great at it. He's also in a mental health field. I don't open up much other than those two. And I am guilty of it. I should be a little bit more open, but for the most part, like those are the two. Like if in the event of something, like I'm opening up to them. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting that both you and your husband are both in the mental health industry. How does that work? Do you find that it helps you to better communicate with one another? Are you able to better share resources, or do you feel like it has the opposite effect?
I think it's great. I think we're learning from each other because, he is starting his program to do the marriage and family therapy
awesome.
program. Yeah. He also works with troubled teens and stuff like that right now. He's great at that. And I don't necessarily work with teens, so I'm able to get more insight on like some of the stuff that bothers them or what's going on with them and stuff like that. Yeah. So we kind of like learn from each other. Yeah, when it comes to that, yeah.
That is awesome. Well, so aside from your husband and your mother, how does your family respond to mental health issues? And how do you I don't want to say educate, but how do you engage them when it comes to those type of topics?
So I would say my siblings they're very aware. They are in what is the generation after millennials? Is that Gen Z or Gen X?
I don't even know.
Okay, so the generation after millennials, that's where they're from, okay? And so they are more aware. They're having the conversations. I know one of my sisters, like she is very big on taking a time out to take care of herself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, my family, we are having those conversations. We are giving each other the space and time to, be whole, and not taking stuff personal. So if it's that, we have an event or we have something going on and they can't make it or they're just not feeling their best self, I'm like, stay home, take care of you, it's fine. Like we just have that understanding in between each other.
No, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that because some people have siblings and they don't even get along, so the fact that you were able to have that within your siblings is such a blessing.
Yeah.
So if someone were to come to you and say, I don't know how to take control of my mental health, like what steps would you recommend to them?
I would say one, reach out to community. 2, try to find organizations that are garnered to help people with their mental health, right? And I will say this too, on this topic, we also have to acknowledge that being able to take care of your mental health is also a privilege, right?
It is.
Because the American capitalist system has it where we are focusing mainly on work and putting out energy as opposed to bringing that energy back to us, right? And so definitely reach out to organizations that can help. And also there's plenty of resources online. YouTube is really big now in terms of like somatic therapy. They have a lot of people online that can help you navigate that. And so, yeah, I would say those strategies can help in some way.
I love that. Do you have a book or any type of reading materials that you always recommend to anyone?
So I like to kind of dig deeper. And so one of the books that I would recommend it to my clientele, I work mainly with Black women. So there is this book, it's called Black Women and the Burden of Strength.
Oh, wow.
And that book pretty much entails all of the aspects of our lived experiences that, impact our mental health. And it pretty much tells us to, give us strategies and stuff, how to deal with, all that life brings and stuff. So I would definitely recommend that book. So, yeah.
I'm going to go run out and buy just the title alone. It makes me know that it's something I need to read.
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone who's unsure about how to take the first step in taking care of their mental health or seeking help, more importantly, I would say, in the more extreme circumstances?
Yeah. So one thing that's coming to my mind is, and this is unfortunate, I have a best friend who's been going through a mental health crisis. And her first initial thought was to go to the police station. Now, unfortunately, police officers and people in that field aren't trained to deal with people that have mental health issues, right? And so, we've been taking her to hospitals and getting the resources there. So I would say if you are having a mental health crisis, go to your local hospital and ask them for resources to help you navigate and figure out what your next steps are, right? It's going to be a journey, but at the end of the day, it's possible to get that help.
No, that is great advice. And that's interesting that her first thought was to go to the police, know, and it should be a space where you feel safe to go. Anyway, but that's a whole different conversation. So how do you suggest that we better support one another's in terms of our mental health as people? It's like every day when you go into work and you're greeting your coworkers or you're encountering your friends and your family members, what are some simple things that you think we can do to better support one another?
Be kind to each other. I find that I have to go back to capitalism. I'm an anti-capitalist operating in a capitalist economy. I will tell you that. So where I'm from in Belize, our focus is on people, right? And we are a collectivist culture. America, unfortunately, is an individualist culture where every man is kind of for themselves. And I think as people, we have to start bringing that back, right? Where we are working together, because I feel like there's strength in numbers, right? And so it's important for us to try to lean on each other and be able to support each other, through our journey, our mental health journey.
No, I love that. And I would love to know, because you are a hairstylist and a researcher, how do you almost incorporate those, blend those two fields together? When you have someone in your chair, how are you able to support your clients on multiple levels?
So here's the thing. What's funny is that I am currently leading a study. It's called the Taking Stock Study. And what we are doing is pretty much, it's an intervention to help Black women to switch from using chemical straighteners to their natural hair.
Oh, that's such an important.
And so we are building curriculum to educate them about the historical aspects of, Black hair. We're talking to them about chemical policies that impact their bodies and stuff. And so what I started doing is having those conversations with my clients in the chair, right, about the products that they are using, whatever it is that they're consuming, and that has helped me to navigate the job that I'm working as well, right? I'm seeing impact. I'm seeing direct impact, and yeah, I'm trying to merge all of these things together. I also have a project upcoming that is going to help hairstylists and hair salons to turn their hair salons green and friendly by being cognizant of the products that they use in their in their chairs. Because as we know, like a lot of the products that are garnered to Black women have so many chemicals in there that has been disrupting our endocrine system, disrupting our cells, our bodies, our reproductive health. And so I want to, take this. I feel like I'm pivoting into this different area in the hair industry. I'm kind of on the back end now. So I'm excited about the research and how that's also going to impact, pretty much my business as well.
I love that one. Shout out to Jonisha because she actually did my hair yesterday. And so I was able to see her meditation room and just all the ways in which she truly incorporates the things that she believes in into hair love. Yeah. And we were also talking about how the Jerry curl is making a comeback, but it's called the Gina curl.
Yeah.
And the chemicals that are included in that. So, I just think that's such an important topic. And I'm excited to see when your project comes out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you would like to share with us that maybe we didn't cover in terms of, because I feel like with you being such a profound professional who's not only personally invested in mental health and well-being, but you've truly embedded it into every aspect of your life. I'm just so fascinated by all that you do.
Thank you. I don't think I have anything else to cover. If you'd like, I can give a little bit of my childhood leading up to where the business is right now. We can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes for that. But I also too would love for you to share with everyone where they can follow you at and support you and your businesses and your brands too.
Yes. So I'll start with the concept of my business. So it's Hair Love Therapy. Hair because of course I do hair. Love because of course I got to incorporate God's love in there. And therapy because we're building mental health awareness, right? And so at the time when I came up with this concept of the business, I was working as an ABA therapist for children with autism and Down syndrome, and also as a hairstylist at a salon in Marina Del Rey. And I figured that, I was burnt out because I was working 15-hour days. It was insane. And I was praying to God. I said, this has to start making sense somewhere. And so I decided, I meditated and I received the answers, and so I decided to incorporate them both. But the way that I've went about it since, I feel like it's been a buildup of stuff, from since I was little. My grandmother dealt with schizophrenia growing up. I grew up in a very unsafe environment. And so I felt like it was just fitting for me to be in this space and to be able to help other women navigate it, other young girls, and encourage them to, always try to continue to put their best foot forward, right? Because even though I grew up in a very traumatic environment, I've managed to, get to where I am and, continue to be positive in all of that. So, yeah. Oh, and to follow my company, it is at Hair Love Therapy. That's hair as in hair, love therapy. And that's it.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for sharing your testimony. And I think it's so powerful that you use your story to inspire and to support others because, I have quite a few friends, regardless of where they've grown up, but quite a few that are from the Caribbean, and they've shared their stories and their testimonies with me. And just really inspired them to come here specifically and provide space for others to learn from and to, even as they pour into their own children and the decisions that they make in terms of lifestyle. And that's even one way of supporting your mental health and wellness and well-being and securing the safety of your family. So Yeah, but thank you so much for being
Thank
here. And I
you.
really hope that today's conversation inspires and uplifts. I personally have gained so much knowledge from you. Like I said, I'm so excited to learn about the different techniques. I want to incorporate meditation into my everyday lifestyle, learn more about chemicals and the things that we're putting into our body, because they definitely impact our mind as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So no, absolutely. Well, I know we were possibly going to have a little time for some Q&A. Okay, awesome. So if you have any questions, please be sure to put them in the chat. I know we're going to stream this as well. Okay, awesome. So maybe we'll go back to those. But thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your insights. This is very powerful, and we hope that this discussion has provided valuable strategies and encouragement to support your community and just empower us all when it comes to mental health and well-being. Thank you so much, Jonisha.
Thank you for having me.